A video that is going sort of viral shows one of the actual residents of Seattle who was trapped in the CHAZ explaining what it was really like. And he said, "I don't want to get killed by these Antifa people." Whoa, whoa, whoa. But the Democrats said Antifa is imaginary. Then who was it who riddled an SUV with bullets, killing a 16-year-old in cold blood? Yeah, it was the far leftists, the Antifa-associated individuals of the CHAZ. The CHAZ police, who fired on a vehicle, and we don't know why. I have seen no evidence to suggest the 16-year-old did anything wrong and deserved to die in any way. But they did it. They killed him. And the audio recording, wow. Apparently, all right, man, this is some gruesome stuff. Apparently, after these Antifa people at the CHAZ fired on this vehicle, it crashed, and the 16-year-old kid was lying there dying. Someone said, "Oh, you're still alive," or something like that, and then asked them if they wanted to get pistol whipped. I read, and I can't confirm any of this, that he started to beat this unarmed kid who was dying that he had killed. These are horrifying stories, man. And the police said the evidence was scrubbed. They went in the vehicle, they took what they could. This is what happens. What do you think the response to this is, to the sentiment? I don't want to get killed by these Antifa people. This guy said he felt like he was a hostage. They had taken over. He was upset. He was left in the dark. He said he's somebody who owns property there. And he says, quote, "I just have to tell you that being a longtime resident here, owner, and very understanding of the political message that was trying to be conveyed, this whole situation has just been totally out of hand." This guy said it's just nuts. Let me just read it. Let me read it. "I'm just incredibly discouraged that residents and businesses here, people that have lived here and paid taxes forever, and everything continues to cost more, yet there's no leadership, there's no communication. And that was just incredibly dejecting, discouraging. It's been terrible. It's been loud at night. During the day, these people seem to be relatively calm. But I've been down here almost every day, and I've seen a lot of weird stuff, a lot of assault weapons, a lot of anger, a lot of drugs and drinking. So it hasn't been a very positive thing. This is the world. This is the country that these lunatics want for you. And what did the Democrats do? I'm sorry, man. It must be said. I don't care about your tribe. I don't care about the Republicans. The Republicans suck too. But the Democrats sat back as a bunch of armed extremists took over a portion of the city, killed several people, and did nothing. And it was only after 5 shootings did the mayor actually say, maybe we should close things down, and didn't actually do anything. She didn't. She did nothing. You know what finally got her to send in the police? The protesters went to her house. Oh, now all of a sudden she's going to stand up and do something. I kid you not. Governor Inslee could have called in the National Guard, and now people are dead. A 16-year-old black youth was shot with several hundred rounds. According to one witness, the vehicle he was in was riddled because apparently he was joyriding. Now, of course, several of the extremists in the chat says, "Oh, well, he was firing at us." Well, unfortunately, no, for you, nobody found any evidence that was true. There's no weapon, no shell casings, nothing proving he was firing at anybody. Some witnesses have come out and said he was joyriding. And so the Antifa extremists unloaded on this car and then mocked him as this kid lay dying. And the Democratic mayor and the governor let it happen. I cannot believe I am literally telling you this right now. The Democratic politicians of Washington allowed armed domestic terrorists to overrun a portion of their city, taking it over with weapons where several people were killed. There you have it. Several people were killed. Listen, this kid was killed by the CHAZ people. So what do you think people are seeing? What do you think they're thinking when they see all this happen? They're saying, for one, these Antifa people are real. And 2, lock and load, baby. We got a big update on the gun front. Gun sales surge up 145% in June, smashing all-time record. Wow. The Second Amendment has never been stronger. I wonder what these people are going to vote for come November. Do you think that all of these first-time buyers who are liberals are now going to rally behind Joe Biden, who brought on Beto O'Rourke, who said, yes, I'm coming for your guns? I don't think so. I think many of these people may have a cognitive dissonance in their brains, but I think many of these people have been, in a sense, shown a light. What it really means when you can't call the police. What it really means when they say defund the police. The Democrats allowed this to happen in Seattle. So now you're going to have to convince me that the Americans who have watched this happen, who are now buying guns in all-time record highs, month after month after month, record. These people, they're just doing it because they finally felt like, I'll exercise my Second Amendment rights. No, I think they watched what happened in Seattle. I think these people realized what the left really wants for them. And they probably realized, I do not want to be trapped in a building like a hostage while these dudes walk around with rifles and I can do nothing to stop it. And there's no police. No one will come. And so what are they doing? They buying guns, baby. Mediaite reports. According to FBI data, more than 3.9 million background checks were processed through the Bureau's NICS database in June, a record for the month. The number of checks is an indicator of how many guns are sold, but the correlation isn't precise. Licensed dealers are required to run a check in the database every time they make a sale. Checks are also processed when individuals seek a license to carry a firearm. Sales have been driven by Americans seeking handguns in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic and uprisings across the country. The boom in handgun sales has been particularly noticeable in recent months, Jürgen Brauer, chief economist for Small Arms Analytics and Forecasting, said in June. Brauer's firm estimated that gun purchasers acquired 2.3 million firearms for the month, an increase of 145.3% compared to June 2019. The figure includes a 177.5% increase in handgun sales and a 114.3% increase in long gun sales. Why would people want handguns? This is what I was thinking about, because I got to be honest, I went out and bought guns recently. In New Jersey, you got to apply for a permit for a handgun. And so I went through all the notions I did, and trust me, I'm not going to tell you what I bought, but I bought more than one, which means New Jersey, you understand the rules, one handgun. And I was thinking about applying for permits for handguns, and I thought to myself, what would you really want it for? I guess because you can conceal it, right? Wouldn't it be, in the event of home defense, there are good handguns. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but wouldn't it make a lot of sense just to have long guns or shotguns for home defense? Perhaps. The reason I bring this up is that it seems like people are buying more than one handgun. I guess people want handguns for home defense. I'm not going to pretend like I know which one works better, but in my opinion, I was like, you get a handgun, you get long guns, you get what you think makes sense for home defense. And I've seen many people advise shotguns. So I'm curious as to what the point of the handguns are. The point is, there are a lot of people buying weapons. There's a lot to consider politically and practically from this. The one practical consideration I would say is a lot of people getting weapons who aren't going to know how to use them, like we saw in St. Louis, and that can be worrying. But the political consideration is that these people, I can't imagine, are now going to vote for gun control legislation. The people who are saying ban it all, no, these people want to go buy it. So who are they going to vote for? The people who are pro 2A. Does this mean Democrats will now have to start adopting pro Second Amendment stances because regular people now own guns, first-time buyers? Yes, it does. A lot of people who've never bought guns before now own them. So when they come and they say, we want to put restrictions on you, we want to take your weapon away, there are going to be a lot of people who say no to this, people who normally wouldn't have, people who will now go out and vote for a Republican. They say gun sales routinely hit record highs under former President Obama, often when the president threatened regulatory crackdowns. Sales fell briefly after Trump's 2016 election, but hit another record in 2019 when 28.3 million background checks were conducted. A total of 19,180,000 background checks were processed during the first 6 months of 2020, putting the country on track to set a new record this year. Yeah, unless all insanity, just chaos ensues. I've read a lot of articles, man, and I'm stunned by how many people are predicting like the end is nigh. I've talked about some kind of civil war, I guess, but to act like I know what's going to happen, no. I speculate. I think violence and escalation is likely. I don't know what'll happen. Will it be November? Will it be in 3 days for the 4th of July? I don't know. But I have seen some people say, beware the 4th of July, and that to me is freaky. There's going to be a lunar eclipse on the 4th of July. Come on, what's up with that? It's almost like somebody's messing with us, right? How could all of this be happening? COVID is slowed by Black Lives Matter, but spread by anti-lockdown protesters. How does that make sense? It really doesn't. Then they tell us we can't have a 4th of July, we got a lockdown, but we can protest. And I'm thinking this is nuts. Now they're saying Mount Rushmore's got to go. And then I'm hearing on the 4th of July it's called the full buck moon. It's apparently going to be like the darkest. Oh, man. Seems crazy, doesn't it? I've been talking to some other pundits, personalities, about what's going on because of the commentary I've heard from some of them. And a lot of them are making jokes about us being in a simulation. And like, the reaction is kind of like looking around like, it's weird what's going on, man. It's almost getting biblical. You know what I mean? I'm not suggesting any conspiracies or weird things like that or religious stuff. But you to tell me there's going to be a lunar eclipse on the 4th of July while all this is going down? 145% increase in gun sales? What? What is all this? It's really weird times, man, to say the least. I'm going to get out of here. But I'll either see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. or tonight live, 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimCastIRL for the IRL podcast I do with my buddy Adam and friend Lydia. So I will see you then if you want to hang out. Thanks for hanging out.